Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going straight into the unboxing for Top Studio Madara. I'm very excited for this statue and pretty cool that they included a poster in for this one. This is the only one from Top Studio that has included a poster so far. Here's the top of the box. I thought it was pretty cool looking, and in fact all of the sides to this box are amazing. This is probably the best box Top Studio has put out so far. Then we got the styrofoam packaging. These straps are always very satisfying to take off. This box does have two layers. The top layer includes all of the accessories for the Susanoo as well as Madara himself. Everything was packaged beautifully by Top Studio. Here's the bottom layer. Down here we have the base, the Susanoo body, and wings. Alright guys, so before we start to assemble Madara, I just wanted to show off my current Susanoo collection. Anytime I show off a new Susanoo, I will always try to include all of my other Susanoos in the background just so you can see my Susanoo collection grow with me. With that said, now let's get into Madara. I don't usually show the bottom of the base for these, but I had to show this one off because look at that, just the base, the bottom of the base alone is a masterpiece. Right now I do have number 181, and I'm gonna put this thing down because it weighs a ton. This is probably the heaviest base out of all of the Top Studios that I've gotten so far. And I just realized that this is my first brand new Top Studio piece, because Kakashi I got from Kondo, which we won't talk about that, but yeah, he was definitely not new. Itachi we got from a seller on Facebook, and he came in very good conditions. I was very happy with Itachi, so shout out to him again. But this Madara I got directly from the studio. Well, from GAC Collectibles, GAC, which if you guys haven't checked them out, they're currently running a 20% off sale. So if you guys want to get some statues for a sort of a discounted price, some of those statues aren't really a discount, but yeah, some of them are a good deal. So go check them out if you guys want to get 20% off of their current prices. But yeah, I got this one from GAC. So yeah, this thing is brand spanking new, and I can definitely tell the difference between this and the other two that I've unboxed. But as far as the base goes, I mean, they're all pretty basic. We just have the stone ground, and the back actually reminds me of the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones. But that's probably just me because I love Game of Thrones, but that's what I noticed when I saw sort of those spikes coming out in the background. But one thing I do really like about these is that they do keep the theme of the base here. They all have sort of this cloud effect with the color of the character that the statue is featuring. So for Madara, we got sort of this darkish blue, and for Itachi we got red orange, and for Kakashi we do got sort of like a light bluish color on the base. So that is pretty cool. It does make it look really nice when you have all of them displayed next to each other. But all right, now let's go ahead and bring in those flame effects and bring the statue's base to life. All right guys, so Top Studio just is getting better at these clear resin effects, because oh my god, this thing looks beautiful, but it looks really nice, really clean. So I'm really impressed with this clear resin effect, and I love the colors. Most of the people that watch my manga content know that I love my purple covers on manga, and this purple clear resin effect looks beautiful as well. I love it. As far as these clear resin effects go, 10 out of 10. All right, and you guys did see that this came with a lot of pieces, which can be a little bit overwhelming, but thankfully Top Studio does make it a little bit easy by putting letters on all of their pieces, and then there's also corresponding letters on the base so that you know where this piece attaches to. So assembly should be fairly easy if you just match the letters. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, these next few pieces are some like slash effects. These are slashes that are coming from Madara's Susanoo, and they attach to the base two different ways. Some of these do have a number, and they do attach directly to the base, while others have sort of like a building block approach, and they actually attach to other pieces or other clear resin pieces that we've already attached to the base. So for now, I will only be attaching the ones that attach directly to the base. I don't want to attach the ones that get attached here because I think it might be better to complete the Susanoo first before we attach these guys. But there are 2 of these, so we'll go ahead and attach those now. All right, this next piece reminds me of a lobster claw or a lobster arm, but yeah, this we had a few of these in the Itachi and the Kakashi statue, but for Madara we only have one of this sort of clear, or not, it's not quite clear, but this resin piece. It has some rough texturing, as you guys can see there, and I believe this is supposed to be representing the Amaterasu flame. But yeah, for Madara, they decided to go with a lot more of this clear resin and only one of these rough texturing resin pieces. But yeah, this just goes attached back there. All right, this one's new, and this one actually reminds me of a chicken claw or something. So a bunch of animal parts on this statue, but yeah, it's just some sort of explosion with some rubble going out from the ground. So this guy just attaches here on the front. If I can get it on there we go. All right, so that's it for all of the flame and other effects that attach to the base. Next up, let's add the Susanoo. All right, so here's the Susanoo for Madara. I love the fact that they keep all of the design for the Susanoos practically identical, so they look really nice next to each other. We got the rough texturing on the pants and then the clear resin for the top of the body. And we do have a unique pose for each Susanoo, each representing the type of attack that their Susanoos is most known for. So with Madara, we do have the dual wielding swords, which I think looks awesome, at least in the pictures that I've seen. But yeah, these things are huge, so they do have a really large steel rod here on the bottom, which just goes attached to the base over here, just like so. All right, I'm gonna change the camera angle so that we can focus more on the Susanoo. But next up, we have the Susanoo wings. But I don't know if I would call these wings, because look at this. This is definitely a hand forming at the end of the wings. For both Itachi and Kakashi, we had sort of some hands forming at the tips of the wings, but here we just have some full-on hands here. But I do love this because it just kind of goes to show that Madara has the most control over his Susanoo with the full hands forming on the wings. But yeah, those hands are going to be holding these sheaths, which again, I'm just going to have to compliment Top Studio again on the amazing job they did with the clear resin effect. This one has some purple colors and then some bluish, light bluish here on the top. So love the gradient effect on these wings or hands, whatever you want to call them. All right, so far I'm not liking the fact that this sheath extends that far out to the side of the statue. It just, for me, it seems like wasted space as far as when you're going to display this statue. So I'm gonna push this in a little bit and see what that does. All right, that's better. Maybe it's supposed to hold here at the middle. I don't know. I think that's better, and there is sort of like a section of this sheath that's thicker. So I think this is actually the way he's supposed to be displayed. So let me do the same to the other side. All right, for the other side, it looks a little strange just because most of the sheath is being hidden. But I'm gonna leave it that way just because there's less width being used up here. All right, here's the other Susanoo's hand. Nothing much to show here, just a hand. So let's go ahead and attach it right there. All right, now here are the swords. Here's one of the swords. Both of them look practically identical, so I don't need to show both of them off here. But man, did the clear resin effect again just look amazing on here. I will say though that it's not as impressive as the huge single sword that Itachi Susanoo is holding. So I think I do prefer that sword over this one, but this is still beautiful. Look at that. All right, so again, another little nitpick here is I don't like the fact that there's nothing securing these swords other than gravity. Just because I move my Susanoos around a lot, and I usually move them around fully assembled, and these will definitely fall off if I try to do that, because any movement and these things just sort of slip out of the Susanoo's hand. So yeah, I just got to keep that in mind, that whenever I try to move this guy, remove these swords from the Susanoo's hands. All right, and I think now would be a good time to attach the rest of these slash effects. Alright, so now we know that Madara is the biggest liar, because look at this nose on his Susanoo. It's huge. It's the biggest nose out of all of the Susanoos, and man, I'm surprised that it didn't break when on its way here. Although I will say there was a lot of padding around this Susanoo's face in the packaging. Really impressive Susanoo face. Love the nose, love all of the hair, and yeah, looks amazing. Although I will say, just be careful with these two parts right here, because one of my members on my Discord, his did end up breaking. His name is Frost BP. He got his around the same time that I did, but he unboxed it right away. But these two pieces did end up breaking just randomly. I believe he said that he was putting this on the statue and they just fell off. So be careful with those two pieces. I definitely won't be touching them. Last thing left are the shoulder pads, and we're done with the Susanoo. But these are just magnetized and attached to the shoulders like so. Take a look at that, guys. This is definitely the most dynamic Susanoo out of all of the ones that are released by Top Studio. I actually had to move my camera back quite a bit to get the Susanoo fully in frame. So yeah, this thing is a beast, and I love it. Madara is my favorite character in Naruto, so I will be getting quite a few statues of him, including a few full Susanoos. So yeah, this is not the last Susanoo you guys will see on my channel from Madara. But yeah, talking about Madara, let's go ahead and add him to the base. All right, so here's Madara's body. This part right here, I am very surprised didn't break when it was in transit. But I will say that they had a lot of extra padding here to protect this piece. Although look at this, some padding got stuck here. I didn't even realize it. So let me take that off. But yeah, overall the body scope is decent. Out of the 3 Top Studio body scopes, I will have to say that Kakashi was my favorite. He just had the best shading with his green vest. And there was a lot of contrast with the blood on his shoulder and on his chest. So yeah, they did an amazing job with Kakashi. Second would probably be Itachi, just because I love the Akatsuki cloak. And then third would be Madara. He's my favorite character, but I never really did love his clothing or what he decides to wear. Let's go ahead and add this. It just has another large steel rod. And I've just noticed that all of the characters have the same sort of pose, with the characters sort of running like this. I wonder if they used the same model and just added different clothing to them. I wouldn't doubt that they did that, because honestly, from here down, it looks identical. I'm looking at them now in the background. But yeah. All right, so I'm not able to get his foot inserted all of the way, so you do see a little gap there, and then that foot back there isn't completely resting on the rock behind it. It's actually quite far from that rock, so even if I were to insert this all the way, I doubt that foot would reach the back of that rock over there. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it that way just because I've tried pushing it in quite a bit, and I'm afraid that if I push any harder, I'm gonna end up breaking this foot just like I did Yamamoto's. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this. All right, now on to the most controversial part of this statue, and that is Madara's face. So two things are that I see personally wrong with this one. The first thing is, of course, his eyes. This is his Edo Tensei form. However, his sclera, or the white portion around his eyes, is white, where in this form they should be black. And that did seem to bother a lot of people. While I do notice that it's not accurate to the anime, it doesn't necessarily bother me. But the other thing that, again, not a deal breaker for me, but for others it might be, is his hair. Look at it, it's beautiful, it's luscious, it's wavy, and that is definitely not how I remember Madara most. I remember him with his sort of spiky hair, kind of like the way he has it in my Surge WCF scale statue. So yeah, I never saw him with hair quite like this one, but I will say that for this statue, it probably does work just because of how dynamic it is. He's attacking, and so is his Susanoo. So it makes sense that the wind created from the slash from his swords would cause his hair to sort of react this way. So yeah, for this statue it does work, but personally I just prefer him with the spiky hair. So yeah, those are the two issues that I noticed. Otherwise, I mean, it looks good. Well, actually, I'll say it looks all right. The likeness is kind of missing a little bit from this face sculpt. Again, probably my least favorite from the three top studio statues that I do have. So that is a little bit unfortunate, just because Madara is my favorite character in Naruto. But regardless, it looks amazing, as you guys will see once I put him on his body. Alright, and then the last thing to complete this statue are Madara's weapon, his Gunbai and his Kama, which are his two signature weapons. These just go attached to his hands. I don't know which one goes in the front and which one goes in the back. I'm assuming this goes in the back and this goes in the front. So let's try that out. I'm not sure, but it looks good like that. So I'm gonna keep it like this. And then the part that gave me a lot of trouble in the WCF scale statue and actually caused me to break some pieces on that one is this chain that connects the two weapons. So I'm gonna try carefully to attach this, but if I can't do it and I feel like I'm gonna break something, I'm just gonna keep this out. I really don't think it's necessary. I think it looks fine without this, but still gonna try really quickly to try and attach this. Alright, so that was definitely a lot easier than on the WCF scale statue. So you guys can see that we do have it attached on both ends there. And yeah, I guess it looks okay with it. I actually think it looks better without it, but I got it attached, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it that way for now. But yeah, that's it for this statue. I sort of gave my thoughts as I was doing the assembly of this statue, so you guys know what I think about the statue. Let me know what you guys think of the statue down below. Which one is your favorite in my collection so far? And yeah, we'll go to a statue showcase, and that will be the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Musicality.